Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we are doing another of the Blindsided Creations. This is the last one for the month, so hopefully you guys have had fun. It is pattern. Oh, I had to go grab it. It is 85037 over on BraceletBook. 16 strings makes it a little bit bigger, makes it last a little bit longer. This took about 80 minutes because it really doesn't do a lot as far as segment knotting goes. There's areas you can work on. I don't know that necessarily made it go faster or anything special. I think when I first talked about doing this, I had predicted that the red and the purple would get used the most, and I was absolutely correct about that. Those two colors get used so much more than anything else. The next ones down the line would be the orange and the blues, and then after that, I think it's the black strings. But there's more of the black strings, so it kind of breaks it up a little bit, kind of makes it so it's not so bad. So that was pretty cool. I love the color combination with this one. We really did go veer off from what the original setup for this was. Before, you had the three colors in a fade, and you added a fourth one kind of outside of the black line. Here, I took out that and added just white out on the outside parts, which makes a great contrast between the black, which is outlining everything. So that, I think it really paid off. Yeah, I mean, it looks fantastic. The rainbow color, I think that was a lot of fun. I like the way that the yellow and the green are so close to each other in the middle. But they don't really touch, do they? I mean, they're just really close. You really see the rainbow thing going on. And then you have the black does this alternating thing down the center. The first one is like a solid, then the next one's got a hole in it, the next one's a little solid, and the solid one is really small. It only takes up 4 knots, whereas the hole in it, it's what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 knots to make a bigger diamond with a hole in it. So that's something that's kind of neat. I have to say though, as far as like the repetition and stuff goes, there are 7 times that it makes that hole in the center. That just kind of means that like we keep doing the same things again and again, which kind of also makes it so that once you kind of get the gist of what's going on, you don't need to look at the pattern, which that really kind of was a thing for me. In fact, I realized kind of early on that, hey, there is no way I'm completing this in less than an hour. And I have this timer. I call it a gravity timer, because when you rotate it up, gravity tells it which side you rotated it to. So I got like one side, I don't know if you can see it. It says 30. So I put it in for 30 minutes, work for 30 minutes, and then take a little break. So yeah, I basically set the timer up to go a couple times because I knew I couldn't do it inside of an hour. And that way I kept myself from having to keep going back and counting how far along I was. After an hour, I figured out where I was in the pattern and then worked out towards the end, which was only another like 20 minutes or so. So yeah, that was kind of cool. I think that helps speed things along, because if you're like me and you keep forgetting where was I at last time, you can kind of skip that because you know it's going to take at least, a certain amount of time. So that helped me out a lot. As I think that I'm going to use that a little bit more in my future, just because even like a 12-string bracelet, it's still close to an hour, right? So if it's really repetitive, I should be able to know, that I can't possibly get it done, too fast. So yeah, it's a neat thing I learned while making this. So there you go. I sped this up a lot because I kind of realized there was, going to be not as much to talk about. Oh, the reason why there's a little hole in it is because it would either have been orange or blue in the middle of those little diamonds. And I didn't want to do that because you could alternate it. That would be kind of neat. But I didn't want to. I kind of like the notion that it's just this black outline that's running out along the outside as well as the inside of this whole design. And I think putting in those little dots, I think it would have taken away from just how pretty the overall pattern really is. And that's something, it's just a personal thought, like how I personally feel about it. You're more than welcome to try it. It'd be easy enough to do, but I really think it turned out really nice this way. Before I forget, because I don't know when the middle is, a special thanks to my YouTube members. It's been a whole nother month of doing what I love, and yeah, we went through some string here this month. There's a lot of rainbows, a lot of like the main colors I would choose for these things. They're kind of used up, so I don't know what we're going into next month with, but I definitely feel like there's this possibility that there will be another string order coming up. I know I just got one. I get it. I know it seems weird, but it just seems like I really leaned in hard on a few colors, and so that might become a thing I have to fix. Trying to think what else I really kind of learned along the way here. I definitely like certain elements of this pattern, like the inner colors, the yellow and the green, the way that they kind of bounce around. It's definitely not something I've experienced in the past, with the way that it just looks like they're doing the same paths as all of the other colors, but they're really not. And it kind of helps the pattern keep that black down the center, because otherwise they would just combine, they would touch, they would go over each other, they would do something. But it was a clever trait that I'd like to see maybe used in some other designs that I do. It's been a while since I designed my own stuff, so maybe we go and we play around, do some of that kind of stuff again. Because yeah, I mean, because I can, I've got the string to do it. I've potentially got the time, so we'll see how that kind of pans out later on. If you try this pattern in any kind of fashion, if you do it the same as mine or you do it differently, I'd like to see it. I like knowing that I've inspired people. So if you do, share it over on Discord. We have a fun little community over there. We share pictures of pets and, just tattoos, just all kinds of other random things. Kind of halfway tempted in sharing my my fountain pen collection. That seems to be something that a couple of you have taken some interest in. I don't know why I love them so much. They're just different, and they write so much smoother, which is great for I like to write really fast, and it works out really good for that. So yeah, I don't, beyond that. Oh, and I like the fact that you can get all kinds of crazy colors that are green with little purple on the edges kind of stuff, just crazy ink. Really love that. So yeah, maybe we'll share that over there as well. Let me know what you think. Put it down in the comments. Because this thing just keeps repeating itself, I have no idea how far into this video that I am, which is a little bit weird. Oh, this was not done on a live stream. This was done on a day off. Go figure, right? Even even the days where I'm not like actively streaming or whatever, I'm still working. So yeah. And I can tell that because there's usually a little window, if I'm live streaming, a little window where you can see me and see me talking to the camera and doing stuff. But there isn't one. It's like where this video, where you are right there, or you're seeing me. Normally there's a different version that gets buried underneath this. And yeah, nope, wasn't there this time. It's how I can tell the difference. I kind of do it deliberately so that way I can tell, like, was this on the live stream? What was I doing? Was I talking a lot? Was I concentrating a lot? You can kind of tell a lot, even though it's sped up, just by watching that little video. So, oh, I think we're getting near the end. Yeah, see, the purple didn't go all the way to the edge, the black didn't go to the edge. That's how I can tell. So I think that's the last of the open diamonds. So there were 7 of those, by the way, in case you're wondering how many of the things there were. Yeah, I gotta say thanks for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate everybody who does watch the videos all the way through. I think that's awesome. Thank you very much. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.